I had, I think you people have greater opportunities. I think the world is waiting for you guys, where the world didn't even know I existed, and was not all that thrilled when I arrived. So I think you could probably tell me more about secrets to success and what you need to do. I think laying this foundation that you're doing here is invaluable.
Yeah, I think that pretty much says it.
And, and Mike, writer's right. That's the best thing I ever heard. Yeah. Writer's right.
Yes, ma'am?
Hi, I'm Nicole Langridge with the Individual Events Team. And I just wanted to know what's your, all three of you, I guess, what's your favorite moment from Late Night?
Oh, from
the Late Night Show.
It's always such a tough question. I mean, it's an often question. I think it's a very hard question.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, because you do a show, just what Bill was saying. You do a show, and then you get ready for a show. So they come and they go. I don't know if you, Dave, have a favorite moment, but
Ready?
Well, I kind of feel like we keep moving.
I just remember when we came back on September 17th, after September 11th, we were dark that week, and so it was the Monday, and we came back, and I called Dave that morning, and he said to me, he said, look, he said, the only two people that I want to talk to tonight are either Mayor Giuliani or David Schwimmer. And so that's, of course, everybody knows what happened that night. But to me, that's something that I remember.
I have two. Two moments that I'm very proud of, not only for the show but in my life. And the first one was I had quintuple bypass surgery. I know you'd never know it to look at me. I appear to be in the top physical condition of my life. And if you've ever had this surgery, and I hope you don't, although it will save your life, it's cataclysmic. It's as barbaric a medical invasion as the human body can withstand. And when you're done with that surgery, you're not sure if you can get off the bed, let alone go back and do a television show. So the night that I did come back,
well, it was a big deal.
That was a big deal because you go from wondering if you're alive to suddenly talking to Regis Philbin. The other great moment was the night that I came back after the birth of my son, and
oh, that was great too.
Sure, yeah. So that's it, and moments that would be great for anybody. And the television show actually was secondary to that, but they happened to be on the show.
Yes.
Yes.
What were some of your fondest memories of Johnny Carson?
Well, this will take more time and more videotape than we can get our hands on right now. And Bill knows this, when I was a kid, and when I mean kid, I was like 27 and 28, and I had moved to Los Angeles. There was no bigger star in television than Johnny Carson. And he represented to me television and what television should be. And if you wanted to be in comedy, you had to somehow ally yourself with the Tonight Show on Johnny Carson. So to find yourself sitting next to Johnny Carson is a indescribable occurrence. It's as though you found yourself on a bus sitting next to Abe Lincoln, because you've seen him on the $5 bill all your life, and then suddenly, holy God, you're Abe Lincoln.
Yes,
So it was that and so much more, and without Johnny Carson, I would not have had a career. He took a liking to me, and it meant so much to me. I don't know that this dynamic exists anymore in television, and I think it's all part of what we discussed earlier about the nature of the changing industry. But I'll stop now. But just it was the most important thing in my career, my relationship with Johnny Carson. Yes, sir?
Hi, I'm Sean Oakey. I'm the news director for Newswatch, the newscast. You, obviously, as a late-night icon, you always think we learn about something, and normally in a humorous way. And
Normally.
I think you need ideally. I don't want to.
no, but it is always funny, and frankly, recently it's pretty easy to make fun of the news. But I mean, everybody consumes the news differently, and as a producer, as a writer, and as David Letterman, how do you consume the news? How do you keep abreast of how people are making asses of themselves in public, and therefore you can contribute later on?
Well, it's interesting because going back to Johnny Carson, when Johnny Carson was doing shows during the Vietnam War, he would go out night after night after night and never mention the Vietnam War. Although he would make jokes about the various personalities, but would not reference the Vietnam War. Things have changed completely, turned upside down. And when we started, we thought sort of the kiss of death was politics and current events, because we felt people had other sources and had their fill of it by the time we came on the air. So in answer to your question now, because that's about 80% of what we try to do, I get most of my stuff through material that I get from the writers and through guests that are booked. It's the equivalent of reading a newspaper every day. It's all kind of headlines. It's maybe not the specifics that I should have at my fingertips, but it's interesting how reading jokes can make you more knowledgeable than you were when you came to work that morning. And I think people are also saying that this is how people at home now get more information than they used to from these shows at night. And I remember when we had that
at Columbia.
Yeah, and I didn't believe it at the time, but he swore up and down that it was true, and now clearly it is true that this is a real source for current events for people.
When I started at the show, one of the first piece of advice that Dave gave me was never write a joke that's over 4 lines. I don't care how good it is, because if it's over 4 lines, it's not going to fit on a cue card. It's not going to fit on one cue card. So you learned as a writer that we were not in the business of educating. We needed a story to be in the public consciousness before, or something that could be described quickly, just to get, because it's not a lecture. And so that's the one thing. Sometimes we have to wait a day for the story to germinate before people will get the reference. And sometimes, and
if somebody does something silly and makes a boob of themselves, then we're like vultures attacking a carcass, and thereby reinforce that impression, whether or not it's entirely legitimate.
Right.
And so that often is what people take away with them.
We used, what was the thing about, this is years, my favorite, because, I learned how to write fiction, writing monologue jokes, because